welcome to another edition of the ETBU Coaches Show here on the ETBU Sports Net. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein. Alongside with me is the head football coach of ETBU in Brian Mayper. Coach Mayper, last week you sat in this exact seat that you were in, and the one thing you talked to me about last week of your game plan against McMurray was you got to take control from start to finish. And basically, you did that. You executed that game plan to perfection, or at least close to perfection, if you will. But coming away with a 62-7 victory, just your thoughts on how everything played out.
Oh yeah, we stalled a little bit, but overall, we kicked off. We actually deferred, which was a first because usually we take the ball, but the wind was pretty strong. We 3 and out of them. They punted. It was a short field. We scored, I think, 5 plays later. Kicked to them. They punted to us again. Scored the next play, and the next thing you know, it's 20 to 0 in the first quarter. Then we kind of stalled the second, but defense played great, shut them out. So I think at halftime it was 27 to 0, and then just came out and scored the second half. The guys came out and played and got a chance to get everybody in. So we just controlled what we were able to control, and the guys got after it.
Offensively, of course, 793 yards on the day, and you had a pretty well-balanced attack from your quarterback, Brian Baca, who not only threw for 259 yards, but he was also the top leading rusher, and his performance, of course, garnered him ASC Player of the Week honors. Just talk about how Baca has kind of developed over the past few seasons, given that this is your first year and as a head coach.
Oh, yeah, he's done a super job. To change offenses almost every year. I know the past 2 years have kind of been similar, but this is a different offense, different read. So he's picked it up well and has done a super job. We've kind of spread the ball out across all the receivers and running backs, and then obviously this week game plan, he ran the ball quite a bit. So he's done a tremendous job and proud of him.
Now, of course, this offense has a tendency to put up a lot of points, which usually means you're going to have a tendency to want to pull your starters and bring in some of the reserves. So, when you bring in the reserves, just kind of talk about how they have managed to embrace the role of starting the game on the bench, and then when the time comes, they go in and play.
The last couple of games we talked to our guys about being able to get in there and taking care of business so the twos can get in and get a lot of playing time, just so they don't get thrown in there when there's an injury. And they played together as a unit. They did a super job. I think their first drive, they went 95 and scored, so that was pretty impressive. Then I think another one went 98 yards and scored a touchdown. So, getting all those guys in is, it helps morale. It helps keep guys around here in school. Because obviously if you're playing, you kind of hang around. So that's a big thing. We want to try to get many guys as many reps as we can, and just seeing how they can react. Obviously, if you play as a freshman, it gives you a lot of advantages later on.
Now, last regular season game of the season, it's also senior day as well for some of your players as well, but it's also going to be the biggest challenge of the year because you're taking on the class of the ASC, the number 2 ranked Mary Hardin Baylor Crusaders, who last year we nearly had them beat at their place, ended up losing by 10 points, but this year you have them at home. So you're taking on one of the top teams in the nation. What's the thought process going into that to try to not get caught up with the fact that, oh my gosh, you're playing the number 2 team in the country and just got to worry about also with senior day and all that?
Oh, it's David and Goliath's story. We're not scared. We haven't been scared of any opponent. They're really well coached. They have tremendous players. They play hard. Their defense is the best defense we'll face. Their special teams, scoring 80 points and still running down full speed on kickoff cover. They do a tremendous job, and offensively, obviously they're scoring 80 points. They must be putting up points. So it's, just taking care of business, same thing. We've kind of built up momentum to this point. The guys know that. They know how close it was last year, so we just got to play mistake-free. If we play mistake-free, create some turnovers, we'll have a really good shot. So that's kind of our plan this whole week, is to get after them.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you this weekend as you host Mary Hardin Baylor this Saturday at 2 p.m. You'll know who our next coach is in a little bit. We'll have more on the YouTube channel in just a moment.